don't know quite how to put this, Bryony. I don't know if you're allowed to tell me the truth or if you've signed some sort of official Secrets Act about your interactions with him. But whenever I've seen you photographed in the company of Prince Harry, you seem to have sort of, well, not to put too fine a point to it, you seem to have grabbed him.
Well, no, you know, yeah, that's it. I grab onto him and never let him go. No. He's a really down-to-earth guy. I mean, astonishingly so, given everything that he has been through.
Yeah.
So whenever we meet, which isn't that often, but has been quite a few times this year, we do have a hug.
And that's nice. That speaks of a kind of very, very different worldview, attitude, humanity from previous generations, most notably his father. But tell me on a more serious note about the support he's offered to you with your mental health campaigning, and of course with his sister-in-law and his brother. They've set up their own charity as well, and this seems to be the real deal. This isn't, you know, sometimes one wonders whether very lucky people do charity work as a kind of sop to their consciences, but this seems to be a labour of love, a proper project.
Yeah, so they launched Heads Together last year, which was a campaign to support 8 different mental health charities around the country and basically get the conversation started about mental health. And I got involved in that. I ran the marathon for them in April, and I also then I interviewed Prince Harry about his own mental health just before the marathon, and it was really kind of incredible. I think, look, he really spoke about the therapy he'd had after his mother died,
or a long time after his mother died. He spoke very powerfully. Go on.
Quite recently.
Yes.
So about 2 years ago, he'd found himself in total chaos, sort of panicking about having to do public appearances, and it was kind of amazing to hear. But of course, then what happened was you had all the people going, old-fashioned types, perhaps the kind of racist that you mentioned before, saying, "Oh, these are the place of a royal is to, you know, maintain a stiff upper lip."
Yeah, shut up about your mental health issues.
And my view is that perhaps that was the role of a royal when the biggest killer of men in this country was the Nazis. Mm-hmm. But now the biggest killer of men in this country is suicide. It was absolutely, you know, it was a great thing that he did. It was a kind of public duty, and he didn't have to come out and talk about his mental health. And I don't even think he knew he was going to when we sat down in that room. Certainly his PR people didn't. So it was a great thing. It broke down barriers. And honestly, James, I still get messages every week from people saying how much that interview helped them, because if he could talk about it, they could too. Absolutely,
and of course ex-military as well being an area of particular concern for these kind of issues and these kind of illnesses. This isn't really your field of expertise, Bryony, but you know, you're a newspaper columnist, so you should be able to offer up an opinion on anything. Do we know why he hasn't kind of gone down the traditional route of marrying the second daughter of the Duke of Devonshire or something like that, and has gone completely out of the game? Do you think that's significant, or just the fickle finger of Cupid pointing at him and her?
I think it's just love, isn't it?
No.
Love. It's just
Shut up.
The love wave. Do you know what I mean? And I think it's great that he's marrying a mixed race American divorcee, don't you?
Yes, I do. I think it's wonderful. I don't know how significant it is in the 21st century. That her background is the polar opposite of what you'd routinely expect a prince to get engaged to.
But everything they do is, you know, the polar opposite of what they're expected to do. And I think that, I mean that in the best way possible.
Of course.
And I think he's probably looking forward to now. I mean, I don't know. I can't speak.
Do you think you'll get invited to the wedding?
I'm literally standing by my door waiting for the...
I don't think you should go out for a while.